Without me realizing, half the summer had already gone by and I spent it pretty much in a state of decay the whole time. I had so many plans this summer. I was gonna get back into drawing, read some books, learn guitar, but I never got around to any of them. Not to mention, this year is gonna be my last year in high school. I have university entrance exams to worry about, and so I fell into a great depression. But it got me thinking, what is the limit to human activity? How much can one person actually do in a day? I could find out for myself. Of course, given that I am 17 years old without any bigger responsibilities, I doubt my findings will mean anything to most people, but I found my motivation to get out my rut, and so I got to work.
I regret this already.
I started my day with a workout, because that's how American Psycho taught me every day should start. Not gonna lie, I didn't know what I was doing. I just downloaded an app and did what it told me to. What was extra frustrating was that it took twice as long as it should have, because I was trying to shoot in all these different angles. I had a whole montage planned in my head to show off my transformation, but look at these push-ups, man. I'm shivering. Then, by 8 a.m., I finally moved on to the next thing on my list, which was to shower. I made a list of about 100 things I could do in a day, and I would try my best to check off all of them. I tried to be as specific as possible while making my list. I didn't want to put clean my room, for example, because that could mean anything. There are so many little things that we just forget to do because we're caught up in all of life's relentlessness, like putting on some pants or eating 3 meals a day. Speaking of which, I tried making breakfast that day, but then this happened. This thing came out of a raw egg, and it scared the poo out of me.
I thought eggs never went off.
So I decided to just order fast food, and while I was waiting, I would clean up this whole mess. This is what final exams followed by a summer internship does to a mofo. What I like about cleaning is you get to find things that you didn't even know you lost, like this pair of keys. I also found a bunch of change everywhere, like way too many. I think I have as many coins as I do ketchup packets. Anyways, my order arrived way too late. I missed breakfast. It was still delicious, but man, I was not making nearly as much progress as I thought I would when I made my to-do list. It was time. The eldritch beast I've been putting off facing for as long as I could. What would inevitably become my undoing. The kitchen. I was defeated after that, but I was nowhere near done. Looking back, it's crazy how different the place looked from before, but I still felt at a loss that night, so I ate my dinner in shame. The next day, I woke up nice and early again. I thought I could probably do a lot more now that the hard part's over. I started with a workout again, this time being more reserved with the camera angles. Then I went out for a walk and got breakfast and lunch along the way. After my meal, I showered, did some laundry, and sat down for some drawing practice. Nothing fancy, I just went on Pinterest to find some references, then started drawing on paper. I'm rushing here a bit, but hey, I only have 256 gigabytes to use for the next 10 years before I can afford another phone. I can't waste space on some B-roll. By 11 a.m., I already felt as if I'd done way more than yesterday, so I started reviewing for my entrance exams. After waddling in front of the mirror for a bit, and eating my lunch. Okay, it took a lot of willpower to start studying on my own. I was going to have to review everything I learned throughout junior high. At first, I was completely lost. I couldn't learn all this in 6 years. How was a month going to change anything?
All I have to do is divide 42 by 10/3.
But it didn't turn out so bad. I even started questioning how I didn't get a perfect score on every exam back then. Of course, I only got through the first couple lessons before I stopped to go out and get groceries. My clothes weren't dry yet, so I went out looking like I own a pawn shop. On my way to the supermarket, I paid off my water bill, which was 3 months due at the time. I was craving chicken wings, so I bought the necessary ingredients as well as some other things, then went back home. While letting the wings marinate, I finished writing a script for a YouTube video and also recorded a few lines for it. After half an hour, I started dredging the chicken, then frying them by batch. I made the sauce, plated the wings, and sent pictures of them to my mom. I ended up video calling my family for a while after that. This day was very productive. All that was left for me to do was to go to bed. It was fine, I was satisfied, there was nothing left for me to do except lay my head on my pillow and I couldn't sleep. I stayed up staring at the ceiling until 2 a.m. I woke up the next day at 11. 11. I was too unmotivated to do anything. I spent the day eating and playing around with the echo in my room.
Echo, echo.
The next few days, I tried to get as much done as I had on the second day. I studied until I filled my filler. I kept up with drawing and started working on some actual pieces. I even tried to insert some guitar practice while I was at it. But I found myself dissatisfied with a lot of the results. I'd ticked off the boxes in my to-do list, but beyond that, I wasn't any more productive than I had been before. That video I was working on, I scrapped it because it sucked. Something about it was bad, and I didn't know what it was. This conveyor belt style of workflow really only is effective for chores where you already know what you're supposed to do. If you're practicing a skill, you're gonna need the time to work out the messy bits, which is impossible if you're always in a hurry to get the next thing done. But I realized, I don't have to be. The stress I feel to fit in as much stuff in a day is entirely artificial. No one cares if I learn guitar in a week or a year. No one but me. I'm so scared to spend a year on something when a year will pass no matter what. As long as that time is spent on something productive and not on doom scrolling through Twitter, it's fine. So the answer to how much a person can do in a day is not much. But it's better to do something with it than to use that as an excuse. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. By the way, why is it that whenever I get a haircut, I go to a shop, ask for it, the barber starts cutting, it looks good, and then the barber continues?